Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we're back with another LFA predictions video on the channel. Today I'm giving my predictions for LFA 194, Magomedov versus Leyva. Now it's been a little bit of time since the last LFA card 193. We didn't do too well on picks compared to the other two cards, but we're coming back with a bang on this card and we're looking to get some picks right. But before I jump into it, make sure if you're not already and you do enjoy this content, you go down below and hit the subscribe button. It's free and it's much appreciated. So there's a total of 14 MMA bouts on this card, but I won't be doing the first one because it's an amateur fight. So we're going off with the first fight, which is Kevin Carrier versus Carlo Ricci, or Ricci. I say that, but Kevin Carrier 2-0, undefeated man. Not many fights, but looked good in both of them. Got a KO in his last fight. Got a decision win in his one before that. 32 years of age. Looks like it could be decent. He's fighting Carlo Ricci, who is 3-4. So not the best record. Also 36 years of age as well. Lost his last 3 fights in a row. So pretty easy pick here. I will be going with Carrier to get this job done. And I reckon he gets the KO. Now, moving up the card too. Freddie Vidal versus Mike Kennedy. Now, Freddie Vidal 0-0. I think this is a heavyweight matchup. Light heavyweight maybe, yeah. Freddie Vidal 5-0 amateur record, but no professional fights. So he looks pretty good. All wins by finish in amateur level. So it looks like a pretty decent prospect. Whereas Mike Kennedy 1-1, more professional fights, but he lost his last one by KO. Won his first one by KO. So I can see this this guy's a heavyweight. So what is this fight at? Is this a heavyweight or light heavyweight? It is at light heavyweight, this fight. So I think Vidal is going to be the better fighter here. I mean, Mike Kennedy's fought at heavyweight before and stuff. So I feel like Vidal 5-0 amateur record. I've not seen any adversity there. So I'm going to go with Freddie Vidal to get the job done by KO. Now, moving up the card too. Vincenzo Iannuzzo, I'm going to butcher so many names in this card, versus Derek Patterson. Now, Iannuzzo 1-0. His first fight, he won by KO in round number 1. Can't argue with that. Looks pretty good. Amateur record, only lost once as well. So, looks a pretty decent prospect there. 27 years of age, no losses. His opponent, Derek Patterson, on the other hand, 1-2. So, he did win his last fight, but his first 2 fights he did lose. So, I don't know, could go either way. I mean, Patterson's only win is against a guy who's 0-3. So, I think I'm going to go with Iannuzzo to get this job done. You know, he's looked decent in his first fight. He's got a pretty cold picture on this on Tapology, so he looks pretty good. I'm going to go with him here, and I reckon he's going to get the job done by decision. Now, moving up the card too. Where am I at? Jake Hixenbaugh versus Adam Livingston. Now, Jake Hixenbaugh 3-2. He's got a weird record. I mean, he had 2 wins, lost. Had no contest to Aaron Hughes, then beat Aaron Hughes. So I don't know what happened in that fight. But then he's had 2 losses by KO and submission. So he's got an alright win. I mean, literally all of his fights are finishes. He hasn't gone to decision yet. So I don't think this is going to be going to decision either. Whereas Adam Livingston, 4-0, only 23 years of age as well. Looks pretty good. I mean, he's had a submission win, 2 KOs. I mean, he's got quite a lot of finishes. So, yeah, I think I'm going to go Livingston here. I mean, he looks pretty good. And I think he's going to get the job done by KO. Now, moving up the card too. Matt Adams versus Saulo Cavalari. Now, a heavyweight matchup here. Matt Adams, 3-1. Pretty impressive to be fair so far. 27 years of age as well. Lost his first fight by KO, but since then, he's had 3 wins, all by KO as well. 2 in round 1, 42 seconds and 59 seconds. So he's getting them out of there quickly, I can tell you that. Looks pretty good. His opponent, Saulo Cavalari, 35 years of age. I mean, also 3-1 record, but he's had a lot of kickboxing and boxing fights. So he's won, lost a few. He's all over the place there. But yeah, he's going to be a boxing match probably, this one. I can't really see even them grappling that much. So I think Matt Adams is going to be the better fighter here. I mean, Cavalari's had quite a lot of kickboxing matches, but he's not looked the greatest in them. So I'm going to go with Matt Adams to get this job done by KO. Now, moving up the card too. Austin Vanderford versus Victor Romero. Now, This is the main card now. Austin Vanderford, 11-2. He's a very good fighter, 34 years of age. I mean, his only 2 losses have come like recently. I mean, he did beat Fabian Edwards in Bellator, but then he lost to Musasi and Aaron Jeffrey in his last 2 fights, both by KO in round 1. But now he's in the LFA. He won on the Contender Series as well, so he's a pretty good fighter. He's fighting Victor Romero now, 35 years of age. So both of these guys are getting on a bit, but like what's his face, Victor Romero has been KO'd 6 times, which is interesting. Has won by KO 6 times as well. But yeah, he did lose in his last fight by KO. So he's had a lot. His record goes like win, loss, win, loss. This guy gets a lot of submission wins. So I feel like Vanderford is going to get the job done in LFA. Don't know if it's the same level as Bellator. Well, the competition isn't as good as he's been facing in Bellator. So I'm going with Vanderford to get the job done by KO. Now moving up the card too. Beatriz Mesquita versus Chanel Butler. Now Mesquita 1-0 professionally, but she's had a lot of grappling matches. Like her entire Tapology page, just all grappling wins and a couple of losses in there. She's fought a lot of good competition as well. She's got the last 2 wins are against Jennifer Meyer, Misha Tate. I mean, she's fought a lot of high level grapplers and stuff like that in here as well. Won her first fight by rear naked choke in MMA. So she looks pretty good, to be fair. I mean, I don't know about her striking, but definitely her grappling is something to watch for. Her opponent, Chanel Butler, no professional fights. She's had 2 amateur bouts, 1 loss, 1 win. So I feel like it's I'm going to have to go with Mesquita to get this job done. I mean, her grappling is going to be too good for Butler, and I feel like she's going to get the job done by submission. Now, moving up the card too. Jacob Bone versus Lance Lawrence. Now, Jacob Bone, 14-12, had a lot of fights in his career. 35 years of age as well. He's got a lot of losses by KO. He's had his last fight was a loss by submission, but he's had a few wins scattered in there. I mean, not been facing the best of competition really. I mean, he's lost to Joe Giannetti a couple times, and he lost to Joe Selecki. He's fought quite a lot of people, to be fair, in his career. I mean, he's not the best of records, really, is it? He's still got more wins than he has losses, but it's close. Whereas Lance Lawrence, on the other hand, 8-4, 31 years of age as well. Lost on the Contender Series a while ago, back in 2019, to Kevin Seiler. But he's won his last 2 fights. He's got quite a few losses, so not the most high-level fight, this one. I mean, both guys aren't the best fighters, but I do think Lawrence is going to get this job done, and I reckon he gets it done by decision. Now, moving up the card too, Ulitan Silva versus Josiah Harrell. Now, Silva 6-2, which is a decent record, 33 years of age, but he has lost his last 2 fights in a row. He hasn't fought since 2019 either. He lost to Adriano Silva in his last fight, who is 39 years of age and 15-18, so that's not a great loss to have on your record. Whereas Josiah Harrell, on the other hand, undefeated, 25 years of age, looks a very good prospect here, 7-0. He's got all finishes as well, so pretty easy pick, I've got to say here. I see Josiah Harrell winning this one, and I reckon he gets the KO. Now, moving up the card too, Gigi Canuto versus Shirley Kessy. Now, another women's matchup here. Both women look alright. 4-1 versus 3-0. Canuto. I think she's got her last win was a grappling match versus Denise Gomez, so pretty decent win there to have. But she did lose her last MMA bout to this Russian girl who I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of. But before that, she was 4-0. She looked pretty decent. Her opponent, Kessy, 3-0. 29 years of age. I think Gigi Canuto, how old is she? She's pretty young, I think. Only 21 years of age as well, so that is very young. I mean, Kessy, she's had 3 wins, 1 by KO, 1 by submission. Then she had a split decision back to some girl called Martinelli. So it's a tough one, really. I'm not sure how this one's going to go, but I am going to go with Canuto to get the job done. She's the younger girl. She's got the prospect. I think she looks pretty good as well. So I'm going to go Canuto to get this job done by decision. Now, moving up the card too. Eric Viscondi versus Buzzer Mankel Abdibait. Now, I've seen quite a few of these guys from Kyrgyzstan. I don't know if it's like popping off over there, but like there's quite a few guys coming through from Kyrgyzstan recently. But 31 years of age for Abdibait, 15-4 as well. All his losses coming by decision. He has 8 wins by KO. I mean, this guy was on like a lot of win streak. Then he lost to Magomedov, but then he got a win by KO in his last fight. So he looks pretty good. That's his first fight in the LFA as well. Had a couple of losses at the start of his career, but since then has looked pretty decent. Viscondi on the other hand, 13-3. Also a pretty good record, to be fair. Did lose his last fight by submission, but before that he had a lot of wins. His only loss before that was to Rafael Estevam, and we know how good he is because he's in the UFC. But he's got a few decent wins on his record, so a good matchup here, I think. But I am going to go with Abdibait to get this job done. I mean, he looks good. He's from Kyrgyzstan. I mean, they seem to be pretty good over that part of the world. So I think he's going to get this job done. And I reckon he gets the decision. Now, moving up the card too. The co-main event. Miravsal Akhtamov versus Scotty Stockman. Now, Akhtamov undefeated, fighting out of the UAE. 6-0-1, so he had 1 draw. But apart from that, he's got quite a lot of wins. His last 2 wins are by KO, so it looks pretty decent. Got a few submission wins in there. Only 31 years of age as well. His opponent, Scotty Stockman, 30 years of age, so both guys kind of in their prime, possibly. But he's had 9 wins by KO. Stockman, this guy is dangerous. I mean, he did lose his last fight in Cage Warriors to Stefano Paterno and lost his last one before that, so he's lost 2 fights in a row by submission. So it could be a close match this one, but I do think the undefeated guy Akhtamov is going to get the job done. I mean, he looks pretty good, and I think Akhtamov is going to get the job done by submission. Now, moving up the card too. Shamid Khan Magomedov versus Alfonso Leyva. Now, Magomedov, we've seen a lot of these guys. They also have the same name. I don't know if they're all related, but probably are. Magomedov, 8-1. Can't deny him really. Looks pretty good. His last fight was on the Ultimate Fighter, which he lost to Shaban by Anaconda choke. But before that, he had the belt in LFA, so I don't know if I think he's defending the belt maybe, or is he interim champ or something like that in this fight. Before that, he only had 1 loss, so he looks pretty good. I mean, he's got a lot of submission wins, a lot of like ground and pound wins. He can't really deny him. He looks pretty good. Whereas Alfonso Leyva, on the other hand, 31 years of age. I mean, this guy likes KOing people. I mean, he's got 7 wins by KO, 1 loss by KO. This guy does not see the finishing line very often. I mean, he lost once to Chris Brown by KO in round 1, but he's had all KOs, usually rounds 1 or 2, and his last one was a flying knee KO. So this guy is pretty dangerous on the feet. So he might catch Magomedov, I don't know, but I do feel like the grappling of the Russian Dagestani style of Magomedov is going to get this job done. I mean, Alfonso Leyva is dangerous, but I feel like Magomedov, as the champ, is going to nullify that danger, and he's going to get the win by submission. So there we have it, guys. There are my predictions for LFA 194. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, maybe leave a like, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.